Hi everyone, so I want to do a video today just doing a quick financial analysis between Intel and AMD. Before I start, I'd just like to ask if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoy these videos, just to consider subscribing and liking on YouTube. It will help out growing the channel, and hopefully you'll be able to see some future analysis on some other companies that I do in the future. And if you have any companies that you would like me to do, please consider dropping a comment down below. So getting in with the analysis of Intel and AMD, I'm looking here on eToro, just having a look at their statistics page. So we can see here that AMD has a PE ratio, so price to earnings ratio of 9.37 compared to AMD's 177. We can see AMD here over the last 5 years has seen significant growth from $1.70 all the way up to $90, and Intel has relatively it's grown, but nothing to the extent AMD has. We've seen here in the last year that they've had a rebound up from 47 all the way up to 64, and now it dropped back down again due to news that their latest processor is going to be delayed. So looking at just doing a brief financial overview of the companies, we can see here that the revenue's been growing for Intel. We can see that they've got a net profit margin of 22.5%, which is very good. Looking at their balance sheet briefly, we can see they've got a current ratio, so their current assets divided by current liabilities at 1.97, which is very good, showing they can pay off short-term debt nearly twice as much. They've almost got twice as many assets as they have liabilities. They've got a long-term debt to equity ratio of 44%. Which is very good, showing that they shouldn't have a debt problem. We can see their assets are increasing year on year. Their cash from operating activities is increasing year on year from 21 billion in 2016 to 33 billion in 2019. So looking briefly at AMD, we can see here that if you're looking at their income statement, once again, as expected, the revenue is increasing. They've got a negative net profit margin of minus 3.7%. They've got a current ratio slightly better than Intel's at 2.1, and a slightly better or slightly lower amount of debt at 21%. Looking at the cash flow statement, we can see here that their cash from operating activities is increasing. So looking briefly at their Q2 earnings in 2020, we can see that, and this is for Intel, we can see that they have had second quarter revenue of 19.7 billion, and it was up 20% year on year from the previous quarter, and it grew 34% for total revenue. Second quarter APS was up $1.19, up 29%. They're accelerating their 10 nanometer product transition. The 7 nanometer product has been delayed, which caused the large decrease in their share price. However, they are still seeing a very solid growth. Looking at their financial highlights here, we can see that they are investing a large amount in R&D. They've got a gross margin of over 50%, so they're very profitable. For the amount of revenue they take in, they are very profitable. What's interesting here is that when we compare this to AMD, we can see a revenue of 19 billion here. Compared to AMD's 3 months ended June 2020, had a net revenue of 1.9 billion. So it's a significantly smaller company than Intel. And I think this is important when we see the decrease in share price now, and especially with the low PE ratio, is that Intel is built to weather this storm. So they've got an absolutely huge market cap here of 216 billion compared to Intel's AMD's 106 billion. So even though they've got this delay in the product, in the 7 nanometer chip, how much of a long-term effect will this have on Intel? And I believe that given the historic presence of the company, the large market cap, the low amount of debt, it's a very solid investment. This can be what worries me about AMD at the moment is if we look at the year-to-date increase in their share price, we can see it's grown 86%, So let's highlight him. So it's grown 84.97% this year compared to Intel, which has reduced by 16.2%. And from looking at their financial highlights here, we can see, Q2 from 2020 to 2019 has been up 20% for Intel's revenue. So I think overall this sort of comes to the conclusion that Intel has just been hit by some bad news. I feel like they're going to weather the storm, and they're still considered a good buy, especially given the size of their company. So if you have any thoughts, please let me know. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing and potentially giving it a like if you do like it. And if you don't like it, please give it a dislike. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers.